Alright, so prepping some audio stuff for the show. Got this one right here. This is going to be for the host. Tentacle Sync Track E recorder. And I'm going to have matching colors for that one. This is going to be run on like the FX9, most likely. These two. Or the FX6, depending on what I'm running for the day. There are going to be some times where we're going to be running FX3. We got time code and all that stuff set up on, but A-Cam is going to be FX9 for the show, but there is a few days where FX3 or FX6 is going to be A-Cam and FX3 will be B-Cam. All right, so we got the Tentacle Sync Track E here. 1, 2. This is going to be for our host, Brian, and this is going to be for guests. This is going to be for the C camera, so A-Cam, B-Cam, C-Cam. That's, got A-Cam here, FX9, FX6 is B-Cam, and we got FX3 for C-Cam. We also got A7S3, it's a backup, trusty A7S3, can't go wrong with that. But yeah, getting everything prepped for 7-day shoot for a TV show that we'll be shooting here in Florida. Here's the lav setup we're using for the show. With the Tentacle Sync here, Track E recorder, and then we got the Tentacle Sync up here. We got them all color coded for what they're being used for. A-Cam's gonna have the blue one on it, which is gonna be, FX6, FX3, and FX9, depending on what day we're shooting. The first 2 days of the shoot, we'll be using the FX6 as the A-Cam and FX3 as B-Cam. And then when we get out on the water, we're gonna have the FX6 and FX9. But we got that, we got the 2 of these Sync and cost 11Ds. I've been testing it out with these little Bumblebee Industries things for just to make it easier to attach to the post. Then we get the wind reduction cap on there, but I might need to use these ones here. I think Cranky cameraman was talking about them. For audio, we're going to be running the 416 Sennheiser right here. We're going to be outdoors a lot, so we got the wind dampener. We have a full-on blimp too, but I don't know if we have a setup to use it for this production. We're going to be using some lavs with wind noise reduction here from these Bumblebee Industries. And then we got these Sync and cost 11Ds with the attachment stuff here to make it easier to attach to the talon all day. I'm going to be recording into the Tentacle Syncs all day, recording on this, which is great. Nice to use time code. Just prepping everything ahead of the shoot because we got about 6-7 days ahead now that we're going to be filming. We're coming back, and then we got an interview to do. We'll be doing interviews for the show too, but more of like a sit-down corporate interview for a client. I'll show what we're going to do that with. The table's a little bit of a mess, but it's how I like to work when I'm getting everything settled and clean up everything afterwards. I'm going to run these Peter McKinnon ND filters on the front. If I need more ND than what the camera provides here with the variable ND, which this here is the Sigma 24-70. I'll be using that for day 1, and then I got a whole lens kit that I'll show you. But I got the 6-9, the 2-5, and the handy polarizing filter. These are really good. I was debating on running the Shogun because we're dual recording for redundancy, but it's just too bulky for this setup right now. I might try it out again with a different rig or run it on the FX9 when I'm using the FX9. But I'm gonna be running SDI, and yeah, I got the small rig rail system here. These I bought in like 2018. They're finally really getting put to use just for this until the new adapter arrives. But this will live on the Sony FX3 for V-mount. And then all the cameras will have V-mount options. Even technically we could run the A7S III with it too. But it's gonna be nice to have all day battery life. I do need to get the Angelbird 1TB cards for this DocuStyle stuff. I just feel like it's the way to go from here on out, just to have tons and tons of record time, like 6-7 hours of 4K. Even though I do get like 2 hours here, but this project might be one where I end up running through all my SD cards, and we're gonna be running up to 3 cameras at times, so yeah. I'm gonna be using the Sony FX6 here with a V-mount battery to run the monitor for now. I do have the V-mount adapter on the way, so in the meantime we'll be running off these 4 EPU batteries. I got 2 here, and then I have one on the charger. The charger, weirdly, or the one that's on the charger is the larger battery that runs for about 300 minutes. And weirdly, it just was dead overnight. I was using it the other day, but it shouldn't have actually been fully dead the way it was. So hopefully there's nothing wrong with it, but I do have these 2 of these small rig 155s that I just got in like a week or 2 ago. They were on sale. These seem pretty decent, but these ones don't actually give the camera like a readout, like that 138-minute readout, which is, I like that. It does have this, so it's not bad. With the voltage will show up here. It should be able to run the Ninja V here. Which this is the, yeah, this is the Ninja 5 Plus. Right there, I got the normal Shinobi here as backup. I'm gonna be using this just because the FX6 is a bit smaller and lighter. I like the handle thing here too, as compared to the FX9. Just, I'm gonna be like on a boat, be out and about doing some shots where we have to get in and out of cars just to film what we're filming for the show. But it should be interesting. It's a good time to actually, I've used the FX6 a bunch of times so far, but it's gonna be put through its paces at this point for the show that I'll be doing, where we should be working on it for the next few months here. But yeah, FX6 setup, handheld, and then we got the Sackler tripod that I'll be using. I got a few other things too that I'll show you here. The bag I'm using, it's a Sackler, or no, Porta-Brace bag. I'll be rocking the FX6 and FX9 in here, but starting with the FX6. Gonna have the camera in here, fully rigged up, everything ready to go. I can just pretty much have it where I don't really have to attach anything. I can just power it on. I'll put some accessory stuff in here, and then I'm gonna have separate bags that are for other stuff, but trying to keep it light for the shoot until we're actually breaking out the light kit, which we're probably gonna use this Aperture light bar here, the new one. And then if we have interview stuff, we got the P300C. Good time code being generated from the tentacle sync right there. It's working on the Atmos also, which is nice. Got this little handy tentacle syncs. I have the Deity system too, but the tentacle syncs just seem to have a better application currently to run them. Got the charging station here. This battery is acting really weird. It's not even that old. It's maybe like a year or so. I know everyone says that. They're like, oh, the device isn't that old, but like, I wonder if something actually went wrong with this. It was working the other day, and it just told me it was depleted in the FX6. So now I'm charging it. It just said it was fully charged. I plugged it back in, and it's not showing it's charged, which is really odd. Gotta love technology sometimes. It just has a, you know, you get some device that will last you years, but then you just get one random one that's like, oh, you get a year and a half and you barely use it and it's dead. But hopefully that's not the case. I'm switching to V-mount, so that's not too bad, but this would have been nice to just have as like a backup because it's got the P-tap out, USB, like charge a phone or something. Like this is not working either. But yeah, it's definitely out of warranty. I got the small rig battery charging. Got some other V-mounts. Seems like V-mounts just the way to go. You know, unless you're just using this small FX3 with nothing on it. These are great, but battery solutions can be a pain, but they're amazing tech in general, just to be able to charge up something and run it for all day, like a cinema camera, something like this. Gonna be packing this up probably with the drone stuff and then a few extra accessories. We're gonna run 4 bags. Run this. We got the DJI Mini 3 Pro here. This nice new controller that they have that comes with it. Got 3 batteries. The Fly More kit. We're using this on the show. Hopefully put this to use quite a bit. I used to have the Mavic 2 Pro. That was a pretty good drone, a good image. This one seems to have almost the same image, but probably just the other one had a bigger sensor and a little bit more dynamic range, but eventually we'll upgrade this to a bigger one, one of the Mavic Sony or something like that, once we actually get some stuff going where the jobs call for the bigger drone, but this will suffice for now. Other cases, fill that up with other lens accessories, get some cleaning stuff in here. Get the 100 to 400 right there, 28 to 135, which cap seems to be coming off. Get the other 28 to 135 right there. Probably my favorite lens, just it's a good zoom lens in general, the kit lens for the FX9. 50mm 1.2 G Master, 85 1.4, and then we got the 24 on in the other bag here. Got the FX9 on the shelf here. Got it rigged up. It's going to be used for a interview with a softbox and rails. I've already tested that. It's just going to be used for the interview, and then I got a bunch of stuff I'm using on for the TV show. But the first few days I don't want to bring it out just because it's going to be quick run and gun stuff, and I don't want to run an easy rig for the most part, but if I do, I'm going to run it on the FX6 since we're going to have a bunch of nighttime stuff that we'll be filming. But it'll be nice to get back out and using this. Just been in a lot of pre-production planning. And as you can see, got these ready to go. I got to charge them ahead of time. Got the old GoPro Hero 7 black. Don't really use this anymore, but I guess from what David Moorfield said, that this is good for a underwater cage thing that he has. And if we end up actually doing some underwater stuff, we might get that and see how that works for it. We are running the GoPro Hero 11, 11 and 10 with ND filters and stuff like that for the show. But yeah, just going over the gear for the setup and getting it all prepped, as that's, you know, giant time consuming thing when you have this much stuff to work with. But yeah. Oh, these are, you got the Rode mics here, those backups, just in case we need them. Always good to have backup stuff, just because camera gear does fail. Back to the mess of gear here, we get some medical tape for attaching the lavs. Picked this up the other day. Got the iPad as our teleprompter, which teleprompter's down here. Right here, our rail system that goes on the FX9 and works with the iPad. The teleprompter app Premium seems to work pretty good. Been using it for some tests that'll be used on a job coming up in the next few weeks. Got these Anton Bauer batteries. These unfortunately break sometimes with the old charger. I haven't had this happen with one of the new ones. Yeah, this charger sometimes will, like the locking mechanism here, will catch on and actually snag and rip the connector here out, unfortunately. Let's see if this will focus. Yeah, that connector sometimes can pop out. But I'm moving over to V-mount fully, so shouldn't have to worry about that. But they are useful to have. It just, that one's all taped off. I gotta recycle it at like Home Depot. 2 batteries gone to a bad charger. Got our deity time code here. I still need to like reorganize everything. We just moved, so everything's like still not fully organized. We get most of it there, but just not fully there. Got XQD cards here for the FX9. Got 2 in the camera also. Another time code, tentacle sync there. Mess of batteries. I gotta pack a bag for tomorrow. But yeah, this is, you know, battery charge station, the V-mount going. Hopefully this battery's good. I was having some issues with it earlier, as I mentioned. I hope that doesn't, you know, when I press the button here, nothing. Usually it does light up. Got these charging. Gonna be a long 7-day shoot, so that's for another project later on down the line. The FX3 in here, the A7S3, cleaning stuff, SD cards, the kit of ND filters, some time code backup from labs. I gotta take this battery off. I don't like leaving it on. FX3 setup here. We got the Sony mic, top handle, a Ninja 5. We got time code, tentacle sync for 3rd cam. Run an SSD in here for dual record. But yeah, that's the kit for day 1 and day 2 of this shoot. I'll go over the stuff for later in the week. Catch you all later.